Hey, horror lovers! Welcome to Tianshi Recaps. I'm your host, Tianshi. Today, we're unraveling the Thai horror film, Death Whisperer, a tale where whispers turn deadly and silence hides something sinister. Before we enter this dark and twisted world, hit like, smash subscribe, and let's get haunted. The movie begins in 1972 in a quiet farming village in Kanchanaburi province. A husband and wife are watering their onion plant when they suddenly hear their daughter screaming from inside the house. They rush over and see her running out terrified, as if something is chasing her. She collapses in pain, her body begins to swell unnaturally, and then she suddenly explodes in a gruesome death. The scene fades, and a few days pass. A family living in a small house at the foot of a mountain. The family consists of a mother, father, 3 sons, and 3 daughters. The eldest son works in the city, while the others live at home. One morning, the 3 daughters, Yad, Yam, and Yi, are on their way to school. As they walk, the youngest Yi stops in her tracks, staring blankly at a large old tree in front of her. Her sisters ask what's wrong, but Yi doesn't say a word. She just runs ahead silently. When the girls arrive at school, Yad and Yam start cleaning their classroom. While wiping down the desks, Yam finds a strange piece of paper left inside one of them. Curious, she looks inside and discovers more papers, all filled with eerie drawings of a ghostly figure. This desk belongs to Nart, the same girl who died in the opening scene. As the girls finish cleaning, it's already getting dark. Nervous, they leave the school and begin walking home. As they pass the old tree, they suddenly freeze. Standing near it is a ghostly figure watching them without moving. Terrified, the 3 sisters scream and start running. Suddenly, someone jumps out. It's their brother Yod playing a prank. They scold him, but he laughs and walks them home. At home, their father is waiting with a stick in hand. He's angry, reminding them once again not to return late. The girls quickly apologize, saying they had cleaning duties at school. After a stern warning, their mother steps in to calm things down and decides to take the children to a local exhibition. At the fair, the family begins to relax and have fun. As a finale, they all get on the Ferris wheel. But during the ride, little Yi looks down and sees something horrifying, an old ghostly woman staring directly at them from below. Yi panics, but when her sisters look, the ghost is gone. The ride ends, but something's not right. Yam, the middle sister, suddenly feels extremely weak and can barely walk. The family assumes she may have caught a cold. The next morning, they take her to the hospital for a checkup. On their way back home, they get a surprise. Their eldest son, Yak, has returned from the city. The whole family is filled with joy and shares a warm meal together. That night, as everyone sleeps, Yam begins to have terrifying dreams filled with disturbing ghostly images. She wakes up suddenly drenched in fear and notices the window is wide open. She gets up to close it, lies back down, and then hears the window creak open again. As she sits up in fear, she senses something behind her. Right next to her is a horrifying ghost staring directly at her in the darkness. Yam gasps and turns, but there's nothing there. The ghost has vanished. Shaken, she lies back down and eventually falls asleep. Later that night, Yad wakes up and notices Yam walking silently out of the room. Curious, she follows her sister. To her shock, she finds Yam eating something in a strange, almost unnatural way. Yad asks what she's doing. Yam calmly replies that she was hungry and goes back to bed without another word. The next morning, Yad hears voices outside. She steps out and sees one of the workers speaking to their father. The man looks disturbed. He says he's quitting immediately, claiming he saw something terrifying near the house. He refuses to stay a moment longer and quickly leaves. Later, Yad asks Yam if she wants to come outside with her. But Yam snaps at her, rudely refusing. Just as their mother enters, Yam suddenly pretends to be the victim, accusing Yad of trying to force her out even though she's sick. Their mother believes Yam and scolds Yad, warning her to behave. Before leaving for town with her husband, mother tells Yad to take care of her younger sisters while they're gone. They'll be back the next day. That night, Yak is outside alone, deep in thought. Yad notices and walks up to him, asking what's bothering him. Yak quietly explains that the worker who quit earlier didn't just leave without reason. He said he heard a strange woman's voice near the house. That's why he got scared and ran off. When Yak tried to ask more about it, the worker only said it has returned and left immediately. Yad heads back in and goes to sleep. But again in the middle of the night, Yam starts walking around. Yad wakes and tries to follow her, but suddenly a strange, haunting woman's voice fills the air. The sound is so intense and unnatural that it causes Yad to start losing consciousness. Just in time, she bites her own hand to stay awake. She quickly rushes to check on her youngest sister Yi. Thankfully, Yi is safe. Yad then heads outside to search for Yam. As she steps out, she sees her three brothers running with guns in their hands, yelling at her to go back inside. That's when Yad sees it, a terrifying ghost standing motionless in the middle of the field. Its head is tilted unnaturally, and its mouth hangs wide open in a chilling expression. The brothers fire at it, but the moment the shots ring out, the ghost vanishes. They finally find Yam unaware of what happened. They carry her back into the house to rest. She doesn't remember a thing. Later, Yad sits with her brothers and demands to know what's really going on. Yak finally tells her the truth. The three brothers were drinking outside. While two of them were heavily drunk, Yak saw Yam walking outside. As he tried to stop her, he too heard that eerie woman's voice which almost made him faint. But just before blacking out, he plunged his hand into a burning candle to stay conscious. With their guns, the three of them searched for Yam. They found Yam standing completely still near the big bamboo tree. Eventually, the ghost appeared, constantly shifting, appearing in different places, flickering through the smoke and the big tree we see before. After brothers finish telling their side of the story, Yad admits that she also saw the ghost. The room falls into silence, and suddenly a loud noise echoes through the house as a door slams shut on its own, startling everyone. The next morning, Yak is seen preparing to leave. He believes that whatever happened to Nart, the girl who died at the start of the film, is now happening to Yam. He tells Yad that he's going to search for medicine or help from outside, and until he returns, she must take care of the family and watch over the house. Yak then leaves. Later, Yad decides to step out to buy something to eat. She leaves Yam alone in the house. As soon as she leaves, the old lady seen by Yi at the exhibition suddenly appears. She silently enters the house through the window. Without warning, she grabs Yam by the hand, forces her to the ground, and pulls out one of Yam's teeth and began to eat it. Yam screams in pain. Yad and mother return just in time to witness the horrifying scene. Yad and her mother drag the old lady outside. It becomes clear she's not a ghost, but a mentally ill woman who had wandered into their home. Yak returns home with an exorcist. Inside, Yam is sitting silently, looking possessed. The exorcist speaks to her, calling out the spirit inside. Yam doesn't respond. Instead, she spits on the exorcist and lies back down like nothing happened. The exorcist explains that Chowie had been practicing dark sorcery for years. Her constant rituals near the house have awakened nearby spirits. The dark magic has also driven her insane. Other side, Chowie is seen continuing her ritual using organs from a crow and a bat. She still has Yam's tooth in her mouth. She takes it out and performs another dark spell with it. Just then the exorcist and Yad arrive and confront her, demanding to know why she did all this. Chowie doesn't answer. Instead, she bursts into laughter like a madwoman, and she falls on the sharp piece of wood behind her and kills her instantly. After the dark ritual with Yam's tooth, Yak is left hopeless. He believes only God can save her now. That night, to stop Yam from wandering, the family gives her sleeping pills. The brothers sleep outside her room to guard her. As night deepens, the ghostly voice returns, echoing from outside. The moment they hear it, everyone begins to lose consciousness one by one. Yak tries to stay awake like before by placing his hand near the candle, but this time, he faints before he can react. Yam, now under the spirit's control, quietly walks out of the house. Yad, just before passing out, bites her own hand again and forces herself awake. She rushes to wake her brothers, and together they begin searching for Yam. Their parents return at the same time, but they don't believe anything the children say. Suddenly, stones start pelting the house violently. Doors rattle, windows shatter, and everything inside begins to break. Only then do the parents realize the danger is real. Everyone splits up and starts searching for Yam separately. Yak heads into the field, tense and alert. Something is running around him in the dark. He senses a presence approaching fast from behind. Without hesitation, he turns and fires his gun. But it's not the ghost, it's his mother. The bullet hits her neck. She falls bleeding, but doesn't die. She slowly rises, holding her own severed head, and begins chasing Yak like a possessed corpse. Yak keeps running through the field, and the ghost keeps chasing him without pause. Desperate, he turns around to shoot again, but the ghost has vanished. Breathing heavily, Yak stumbles out of the field and sees someone in front of him. It's his real mother. That's when he realizes the one he shot earlier was not her, but the ghost in disguise. Still confused and afraid, he raises his gun again, thinking it might be another trick. Just as he's about to shoot, his brother rushes in and stops him just in time, saving their mother. Back at the house, only Yad and little Yi are inside. It's quiet until they hear a knock at the door. Everyone else is still outside searching, so the knock can only mean one thing: the ghost is at the door. Unaware of the danger, Yi walks toward the door to open it. At the last second, Yad pulls her back, just in time. Suddenly, a pale, ghostly hand starts forcing its way in through the gap. As it squeezes through, the outer flesh tears off, revealing the raw, sinewy inner hand beneath. The two sisters are frozen in fear, but just as quickly as it came, the hand vanishes. That terrifying night finally ends. The family brings in a shaman, hoping to drive the spirit out of Yam once and for all. At first, the ghost inside Yam pretends to be innocent, but as the shaman begins the ritual, Yam suddenly lets out a sharp, horrifying scream. Mother, shaken by her daughter's pain, begs the shaman to stop, but he refuses, explaining that the spirit must be removed now or it may never leave. The father joins in, threatening the ghost with a stick, demanding it leave his daughter's body. That's when the voice from Yam changes. Now deep, cold, and male, the spirit speaks, saying it will never leave. Everyone, including the shaman, is stunned. They realize this is no ordinary haunting. Later, as the shaman and the brothers walk outside discussing what to do next, they arrive at the bamboo tree. The shaman looks at it carefully and says this is the source, it must be cut down. The brothers hesitate, knowing their father always cared for that tree. But with no other choice, they begin chopping it down. The father arrives and tries to stop them, but they refuse to listen. As it splits open, a foul stench fills the air. Inside the trunk, they find human internal organs in the tree, including a heart that is still beating. It's clear now all of this is Chowie's doing. The ghost inside Yam senses something is happening at the tree and rushes toward it, trying to stop them. But the family holds her back. They burn the decaying flesh found inside the tree. As the flames rise, the shaman drives a ritual knife into the ground. Instantly, the spirit inside Yam collapses to the floor, reacting violently. But it isn't over. The shaman explains that the ghost is still clinging to Yam. To fully remove it, she must be taken to his spiritual grounds. The family agrees. While the little girl Yi and two others remain at home, others leave in the car. On the way, something strange happens. The road ahead fills with ghosts. Among them, Yad sees the spirit of Nart, the girl who died at the beginning. The ghosts stand in the way, refusing to let them pass. But Yak doesn't stop. Without hesitation, he speeds forward, crashing through the spirits. Yad sits in the backseat, tense, as the Nart ghost appears ahead on the road. The shaman calmly warns everyone, close your eyes. If we can't see them, they can't see us. Yad obeys, but curiosity makes her peek through her fingers. The ghost is still coming closer. Suddenly, Yak sees something worse, his entire family standing in the middle of the road. But he realizes it's just an illusion. Without hesitation, he drives straight through them. The ghosts vanish instantly. Just when it seems safe, Yam begins whispering under her breath. Instantly, everyone inside the car starts fainting one by one. The shaman tries to hold the spirit back, but Yam bites his finger and grabs the steering wheel. She struggles with Yak, and the car swerves out of control, crashing violently. Everyone lies unconscious on the road. Yak is the first to wake. In front of him, Yam, now fully possessed, holds the shaman's sacred gun and threatens to kill them all. Just then, Yad regains consciousness. She grabs the shaman's holy knife and throws it to Yak. He catches it and strikes Yam's hand with it. The blade burns through, and finally the spirit is forced out of Yam's body. Yak, overwhelmed with rage, fires the holy gun and brings down the ghost. They take injured Yam to the hospital. Just as the family begins to breathe easy, the nightmare returns. Yam starts shaking violently in her hospital bed. She reaches into her mouth, pulls out her teeth, and places them in Yak's hand. In that chilling moment, Yam dies too, just like Nard. Outside the hospital, the ghost they had once seen near the tree now stands watching again. At the funeral, grief turns into fury. Yak picks up an axe and marches toward the haunted tree. With each swing, he tries to erase the evil rooted in that soil. Flames engulf the branches, smoke rises, and just then the ghost appears once more. The evil still lingers. If this ending gave you chills, hit like and let me know in the comments if you're ready for part 2. And if notifications aren't reaching you, turn on all notifications so you won't miss the next chapter. See you in the next video. Bye.